Next up, we did Action Comics number 41, setting a new stage for Superman. Now, you guys missed the prelude to this, but
yeah.
I think you had no problem getting on board. Written by Greg Pak and Aaron Kuder, and Aaron Kuder also did the pencils for this book. Superman is losing his powers, and then he goes to the Fortress of Solitude, and the Fortress of Solitude is like, I don't even recognize you anymore, so you're not allowed in.
I don't even know who you are anymore. Get out!
Yeah. Anyway, what were your initial thoughts of Action Comics number 41?
This was cool. I dug this story a lot. I love the fact that Superman is out now as Clark Kent. Everyone knows about it, and so many people have a problem with it, except for apparently this tiny group in New York.
No, it's in Metropolis.
Metropolis. Except for this tiny group in Metropolis. It felt like New York, because I was like, that looks like Brooklyn.
Oh, yeah.
These look like Brooklyn.
No, they're trying really hard to, like, make
I thought that New York
Metropolis more real.
was related as well, and I don't know why. Because I thought they mentioned New York, but no, I don't know.
They might have.
I don't know now.
I don't know. I assumed he lived in Metropolis. Anyway.
What did you think of it?
Actually, it's funny because I always thought that, like, alright, my initial thought is I thought the issue was pretty cool. My main problem with it is they did too many things to Superman in too short a time. They gave him a new power. They outed him as Clark Kent, then they took away all of his powers. So it's like, I get that you want to get that much. You could milk a year's worth of kind of interesting stories out of one of those elements, and they put them all within like less than a year.
All right, well that's fair. For me, while I was reading it, I was like on this roller coaster of how I felt about it, and at the end, I was like, okay, like,
yeah,
that's fun. This is fun. I enjoyed it. It was fun. But coming in not having read the stuff leading up to this point, for me, like, I was aware of the fact that Superman was given a new power, but I'll be honest, when I was reading it, I completely forgot about that. So it just seemed like, to me, like, Superman was having a Peter Parker-esque day.
Yes. Oh, yeah, this is very Peter Parker for Superman.
I liked that, in a sense.
Well, it's very human.
Yeah, exactly.
That's cool.
Yeah.
It's the first time we've seen him interact in this way with the world around him. He gets hungry, and he's like, every meal I've tasted... Like, every lunch is the best lunch.
And I was like, that is... No.
Yeah, that's not true.
No, that's not true, Superman. That's not true at all. You're hitting roadside stands. Some of those are great.
But some of them are not.
No.
Yeah. Talk to me when you've eaten a sandwich out of a vending machine.
You could have a pickled
whoa. You never eat this.
Yeah.
No. It is interesting that you mentioned the fact that it's so human, when most of, like, in the book we see people like you know, calling him like alien trash and stuff like that, which is so funny because, as you said, like, he's having this connection with being more human, and yet at this time everyone's really angry about him for this being so foreign and so alien.
Yes. What did you guys think of the writing for this story?
I thought it was competently done. I loved the narration.
Yeah.
Like, his dialogue throughout the whole thing, where he was just talking to the audience, was great.
I thought it was interesting because I expect a different voice from Superman, but I would believe this voice from a depowered, like, drag through the mud Superman.
Yeah, I could see that. There were parts of it, like, the first half of the book when he's on the road and, like, dealing with the bikers? The bike owners, the gas station folk, and then him dealing with being in the city. It was almost like two different voices for me from Superman. And the first one, that was one I was like, I don't know how I feel about this book. Because I wasn't sure where it was going. And for me, it was really that point where he has that thought where they're like, that was Superman. He's like, hell yeah. And I'm like,
hell yeah. I was like, shut up.
That was so weird. But then the rest of the book, I was like, no, this is okay. Like, I'm really, like, I do like that. I like, not that part particularly, but I do like this Superman who's, like, still cares about the people and still wants to help, but also is getting brand new experiences and taking a look at the world in a different light. But that one page, I was like, I understand you're trying to make this, like, statement page, but that wasn't, I don't know, it wasn't...
Well, that page itself was weird, because he's riding off on the motorcycle, and he's not on the ground. You see this weird shot above the forest, and you're like, wait, are you flying? You can't be flying.
The reason that page was weird for me was because, did he just ride across the street?
Right. I don't know.
Because that's all the same, right?
He did, basically.
He's like, hell yeah!
Cool, bike! I'm gonna go to this hotel.
Yeah. Now, that said, what did you guys think of the art for this book?
It really reminded me of, was it Frank Quietly?
Yeah, Quietly.
Damn it, I always get that wrong. Just want to put an E in there. I'm like,
Yeah.
E. And so that, of course, anything All-Star Superman, which is a very kind of weirdly humanizing book for Superman as well, even though it's dealing with him in this almost godlike, I don't know, whatever. I dug it. It was cool. It was different. It was interesting. It had a way more really like rough. I've always hesitated to use the word visceral, but visceral sort of feel, which really grounds this idea of him being depowered in a sense, and like it's not so perfect, it's not so pristine, it's not so shiny. It's Superman in the mud dealing with life.
Yeah.
You know what epitomized the art for me in this book was that cop, the sergeant that he dealt with the glasses on, who was giving him shit. Mm-hmm. I saw that police officer, I was like, that's who this book was drawn for.
Yeah. It was cool. I thought it was very gritty. It had a rough edge charm to it. I enjoyed it. It's something I don't expect from a Superman book. It's very like grainy, and it felt like it was just rubbed in asphalt. And it could be like just the theme of him like being on the road. It's funny, that said, there was a book called Superman Grounded where J. Michael Straczynski was like, I'm going to make Superman more relatable. So he's going to like not fly, and he's going to walk across the United States and meet people and get into adventures and like get to know the people. And this is clearly just them being like, okay, that sucked, but here's another better version of it. And he does it in like a 2-panel or a 2-page spread where he goes from one end of the country to the other on a motorcycle. Yeah. And you see panels of him helping people out.
By the way, he didn't wear a helmet.
Yeah, interestingly enough, no helmet.
Bad choice, Soups.
Oh, he didn't
He
buy
looks
one.
cooler without it.
Like he didn't buy it.
Right.
He only bought the bike.
I mean, there's some states that don't require a helmet law, but if you're going to safe.
Yeah, but maybe the guy didn't have one. Maybe his big head didn't fit in it. Not only Superman, I mean the guy who bought the bike.
Now that's another point that I want to bring in. I think Superman looks like a meathead.
Yes.
And I don't like that.
Well, he's got like a buzz cut haircut.
Yeah, he looks like a douche. He just looks like a thug.
He looks like a football player in college who's just getting by because he has a scholarship to play the sport. And he feels like he owns the university, and kind of does,
right?
Because everyone's giving him the money instead of the students that really need to be there and are studying hard to make lives for themselves.
Right. Yeah?
What?
Nothing at all.
We just went someplace. It wasn't to Metropolis.
No, his hair was... That was the thing that was like... I was like, what? That's weird. Mm-hmm. I did like... And I feel like this is a nice detail... That, like, he clearly picked up 2 different t-shirts when he went to buy the shirts.
Yep.
And he didn't wear the Superman shirt until he was returning home.
Yeah.
And I thought that was kind of interesting.
It was a nice little bookend, a little thematic.
And I like that. Like you said, the narration was great in that moment. I like that narration there as well. But I agree, he did look... He's not the Superman we're used to, look appearance-wise.
Yeah.
You know?
And that's fair. We're getting another Superman. Like, that's fine. If you're doing that, you gotta make him look a little different. He can't be pretty.
No.
And apparently we can't give him a beard anymore.
No, that's dumb.
No. Well, I mean...
He'll grow one. But,
maybe
he'll shave.
Maybe when he has full Superman powers, his hair is coiffed. It's part of the powers.
Yeah. I was going to say, it's got to suck to try and walk back from Antarctica with short hair.
Oh, man.
Maybe he cut it when he got back into town.
No, it was pretty
short. He took a look at himself, he's like, I look like Alan Moore. Jesus.
So that said, do you recommend this book, and would you read another issue of it?
I definitely recommend this book because of the last page reveal.
Oh, yeah. That was cool.
I was not prepared for that. And I was like, holy crap.
Yeah. I think people who are interested in Superman, I think people who are interested in Superman going in a new direction, I think people who were hurt by Man of Steel would probably be on board with this book, because it's almost, I'm not saying it's Man of Steel Superman by any means, but it is definitely a Superman dealing with ramifications.
Yeah, of his actions.
Yeah, which is, very much in
line with...
Yeah, with that. I would read another issue.
Yeah, I feel like, I think if you liked Man of Steel, you didn't like Man of Steel, no matter what, if you're interested in a new Superman, or a new Superman story, you're probably going to like this.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I'd check it out.
Yeah, totes.